Yo, I just want to really quickly go over my trades for today. Um, it's almost 10 p.m., so pretty late in the day. Um, so I'm just gonna do this really quickly, uh, just to do it, you know? Um, yeah. So today was Monday, no news, so nothing really crazy today. I wasn't really expecting much. The only thing that here. So this is what the daily chart looked like. So this ignore this candle. This is what it looked like. Um, Basically it looked like this coming into the day. Um, let's go with 15 minutes so it's easier. So basically what the major levels that I have were external VSL. This is basically the swing high um on the daily chart. Previous swing high from the daily chart, and then I had previous day highs and previous day lows marked out. There was a high chance that today was going to be inside day because, well, first of all, there's major earnings later on in the week, like Wednesday and Thursday with Tesla, Apple, Meta, Amazon. So I'm not really expecting any major moves um, for Monday, like especially in No News Monday, right? So when when price opened up, or when the market opened up, it started rallying. Let's go on the 1 minute chart so it's easier to see. Yeah, so market uh started rallying after the open, swept PDH, and so at this point the long percentage was pretty high. So what was going through my head was, okay, I think this is the point where quite a lot of people are expecting like a bullish move now, because people, well, the market had a really green week. If you look on the weekly chart, it had a really green week. So definitely made a lot of headlines, and people were really digesting the news that the market had several green days higher, multiple percentages, and a lot of like the the more like risk on assets like Tesla, Bitcoin, Palantir, all these like quote unquote more riskier assets, they got a bid last week. So what I'm thinking is that, all right, retail is, they have a lot of reason to be bullish now. And if they were gonna buy the dip, probably they'd buy it now, right? Um, yeah. So market started rallying. I was like, all right, long percentage is high. People aren't, um, overly bearish. So once I saw price take out PDH and move lower, sharply lower, like an impulse move lower, I saw this as a manipulation, because all these were kind of weak lows, like trendline liquidity that just got swept in one move, and it swept PDH as well. So my original thesis was that I'm not expecting any major moves and maybe even an inside day because it's a no news Monday, with big news later on in the week. Yeah, there's also NFP this week as well, I believe. So that's all the more reason for today to kind of be an inside day. So if I'm trading PDH and PDL as a range, then failure to move out of the range would result in a rotation back to the opposite end of the range. So after this move, I was expecting bearish continuation. And so, but after you see a move like this, and and then around like the end of macro, around like 9:10, 9:15, it's still here. Like what I'm thinking is that, all right, there's definitely not an entry here. And I'm probably going to have to wait until 2nd AM macro, because this move is not satisfactory enough to warrant um an entry, right? It's not, the move isn't ready yet. Um, because this is what it looked like on the 5 minute chart. And if I ask myself, like, am I really satisfied with this move? Not really, right? Especially since um, whenever it's the initial move displacement from the manipulation, there's a lot of opportunities to entry. So I'd rather just wait for the 2nd AM macro to enter. Yeah. And so right here, this move right here, this honestly would have prompted me to enter. This looks like a really good entry point, but ultimately got stopped out. Wait, no, would have gotten stopped out, or well, maybe not. If I kept my stop here, but if I moved it, probably would have gotten stopped out. Um, or I probably definitely would have felt very uncomfortable here, and like could have gotten wicked out at any moment. So I'm proud that I didn't take an entry here. I waited till the macro time, and then at macro time is when I finally took the trade. Um, and yeah, so if you look on to my Apex accounts, you can see like this is the tick chart, 1,000 tick chart, so it's a little bit different, but you could basically see the same thing where I waited until around, wait, this was quite a while later. This was like around 10. Yeah, oh yeah. This is like around here. Yeah, right. Yeah, so at this point, um you already got the reversal candle and then the retest inside. Um, so basically, when the 10 a.m. candle opened, I just wanted to give price a chance to make a manipulation wick higher first, which I guess would be this. And then once I saw price starting to roll over and respected the 9, that's when I entered my first position. And so you're gonna put your stop like pretty tight at around like above this candle high or above these stacked highs. Um, and I only entered in one, and so like the risk, the only risk that was present was if price were to just sweep these stacked highs and then display slower. Um, that'd be kind of annoying because then most likely that'd be out of macro. Um, and so the move that would happen might be a fake out, and so the setup wouldn't really be there. So you wouldn't really take that trade. Um, so my thought process was that if it's gonna work now. Yeah, and then so price started displacing, but um, ultimately I wanted to see price uh take these Asia lows, because like price, well, like for some added context, price has been like respecting these weak lows ever since Friday. Um, and so I thought that these lows were not likely to be held, especially since it's made in the overnight session. Also, the main reason why I wanted to wait, I was more open to waiting to second AM macro was because of how price took external liquidity and then displaced, but it also took all this trendline liquidity here. So it definitely needed some time to digest. And so yeah, that's why I waited for second AM macro. I feel like I was really good on the patience for that. And then so when price displays higher, this was around the 15-minute candle close for the first 15-minute candle of the 10 a.m. Hourly candle. So once it closed, I put the 9 on. And so basically what I was thinking was, okay, um, if it's not gonna work out, then it's gonna displace, or it's gonna reverse higher here. Um, where's the 10-15 candle? Yeah. So this was it right here. So if the 15-minute candle was gonna create such a large wick, then if it creates a manipulation wick and goes higher, then it's gonna do it now. So what I can do is add to my position and then make my stop tight, uh, move my stop much more tighter. So I added one more and I moved my stop just above these highs because then, like, basically, you're able to reduce so much more of your risk and add to your position when the probability is high. Because if it's not going to work out, then it's not going to work out right there. And so I added to my position and it ended up working out. And yeah, you can see here. I added to my position once the 15-minute candle opened closed below the 9 and the candle after that rejected off of the 9. That's when I added, and then I sold. So basically these were Asia lows right here. which is um, which is right here. So I had a the one thing I don't like to do is to wait till that displaces below the low. I kind of like to put like a limit order like right below the lows get taken because I don't want to be in, any relative equal lows type of action. But, looking back on it now, like there's a high chance that this move gets completely uh, flushed through because if price is seeking liquidity after taking buy side, is most likely going to flush below these you know these weak lows, stacked lows. Yeah, so that's exactly what price did, but I ended up taking everything off at Asia lows. Yeah, and also there was like another reason behind it. Basically for Apex, the PA accounts, you have a consistency rule of 30%. So I was already at 30% for my PA accounts. So that's when I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna take it here. It's fine. I made pretty good money for the day, and yeah, that's that. So I'm pretty proud of my my patience for waiting, and also for recognizing that price most likely wants to make the move at the second AM macro because of this larger displacement move. Requires some, inefficiency rebalancing. Yeah. One pushback that I did have was that I didn't really have any good analysis coming into the day. Um, yeah, I guess I didn't really like take a good look into the charts. Um, the opportunity like isn't really it's not really enticing me. Um, but nah, I guess I'm just making excuses. Um, I shouldn't be too complacent. Um, because there's definitely, opportunity like this in a day like even today. Um, yeah, I guess I'm just trying to sit on the sidelines and wait until until the earnings comes out later on in the week and NFP and whatnot. But still, um, there's still some moves to be caught, and yeah, that's that. Pretty quick review, and yeah.